Answering most Google questions about the orchestra. That's right, your favorite violin internet detectives are going to educate everyone about the symphony orchestra. First question.
Why do orchestras need a conductor?
It's because when there's music, there's electricity. When there's electricity, you need to conduct the electricity. No, sorry, bad joke. I get it's like a common question, right?
Especially in the concert when you're taking a friend that hasn't been to classical concert.
It's like some person just being like...
This is like, what did I do?
Yeah. Really, the primary base need for a conductor, I mean, the conductor does a lot of other things, but at the end of the day, they're there to keep the ensemble, to make sure all the musicians play together. So when the musicians are smaller and they can all see and hear each other, it's not really needed. To illustrate this, you kind of have to see the history of conducting, right? Actually, in the Baroque era, which is 1600s to 1750, roughly, there wasn't often conductors. They weren't very common because ensembles were a lot smaller. So you'll see back in Baroque, it will usually be just the concertmaster or the harpsichord player. If you ever watch a Baroque ensemble, even today, often they perform without a conductor, though sometimes they do.
Yes, and the harpsichord sometimes leads it, everyone follows, or the concertmaster leads it as well.
Even in the classical era, when orchestras started getting a little bit bigger, often, for example, Mozart would play a piano concerto and he would lead it from the piano himself. And so you'll still see that tradition today sometimes where soloists of a classical concerto will conduct while playing at the same time. I think really conducting became a thing in the Romantic era. I mean, I'm not an expert. I believe the reason is because pieces in the Romantic era grew a lot more complex with tempo changes, and then the orchestras like got big. So imagine 100 musicians, except you're not just playing to a beat. This beat is constantly slowing down and then speeding up, and so you kind of need someone to dictate how much you want to speed up or how much you want to slow down, and everyone kind of has a visual.
And that's why the conductor's on a podium sometimes. And then if everyone looks at the concertmaster, it's not enough. If you look at the concertmaster from the back of the section, like you're a percussionist, it's too far.
I think a conductor now has almost taken a leadership role as well. They're not only responsible for showing time, but they're also the one who has to drive the musical interpretation of the piece. So they are the one that has to be the master interpreter to study the symphony and all its parts, come up with their interpretation of how all the parts should weave together, and then signal and gesture that through his skills.
And then add on to that, you often get the same orchestras with different conductors, and the sound will sound very different.
So true.
And then some conductors are known for specific repertoire. And everyone gets really excited for that.
And this conductor's an expert in ballets, this one's expert in classical.
So the conductor actually has a lot of responsibility.
And that's why they're the highest paid, I think.
They are the highest paid.
Damn it.
I know, industry secret.
Damn it.
Highest paid, more than the concertmaster. Oh!
Alright, next question. Why do orchestras tune to the oboe? I actually don't know this.
Because they're so nasally, they pierce. No, I'm just joking.
Actually, I want to Google. I don't know this.
A few moments later.
Oh, you're right. It's the penetrating sound that stands out of the orchestra.
There you go.
It's easy for musicians to hear.
You know why I was thinking that? Because I'm sitting in a section, I can hear it straight away.
It is a
it cuts through.
That's true. If it's a violin and all the other instruments start tuning,
if it's
violin sound gets lost.
If it's a clarinet, it's too round.
Yeah.
For that situation. If it's a bass, no one's gonna hear it.
Yeah.
If it's
a brass, it's never gonna be in tune. Next question.
Why do orchestras tune to A441?
What?
Oh, A440. I clearly tuned to A441.
Look, they don't always tune to A440. A lot of orchestras these days tune to 441, all the way up to 446, I almost say.
6?
Yeah, I feel like.
Who goes to 446?
Some European orchestras feel so sharp. Maybe not 446, I don't know, I made that up. But definitely up to 443.
Yeah, 100%. I think so, yeah.
Back in the old days, back in the days where we were toiling in the Renaissance villages, I think they used to tune anywhere between 415 to 450. There was just no set rule. People kind of just roughly tuned to whatever. Times have definitely changed, and then over time, it got standardized. and it became A equals 440.
Like, have you heard like why they also sharper now?
Sharper you are, the more bright the sound is.
And the brighter the sound can, travel further.
Check out a video we did a long time ago called like the global warming of
pitch.
Literally,
it's like global warming. It's like
yeah.
Next one. Why do orchestras need sheet music? I mean, do you want everyone to memorize every symphony?
Like maybe if you're a percussion player and you have like 5 triangle hits throughout a whole symphony. Violinists, we have a lot of notes.
Thousands.
Look at a Mahler symphony, a Shostakovich symphony. It's a lot of notes. Yeah. And not just that, but often in orchestra, you're playing parts that are not the melody. So they're not very memorable notes. Yes. You might be doing some accompaniment like notes that kind of don't really make sense by themselves, but in context makes sense.
Exactly.
And then add that to the fact that the current way orchestras work is we're expected to play like a different symphony every week. It's just too much.
And just imagine like it takes one person to have a small memory slip and the whole effect and the sound is gone. Most conductors conduct by memory as well. They kind of know the gist of it.
The conductor needs to know.
Yeah.
If they don't know, then
they're in trouble.
Yeah. But that's because the conductors get paid more.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
If the musicians got paid more,
then
maybe we would memorize the music.
Do orchestra musicians get paid?
Wow, what a segue from what we were just saying.
No, we don't get paid.
Not enough if you want us to memorize the symphonies. Come on. The triangle players need to get paid more because each ding is only $3,000 right now. Actually, I don't know how much they're paid.
Well, actually, if you put into the amount note played to how much you get paid, violins, we work pretty hard.
Yeah, the violinists, we struggle the most.
It's like 0.00001 cent per note.
Yeah.
Whereas a triangle, like he says, like a ding is $100.
$100.
Yeah. Ding another $200.
And then they just like wait there.
They just chill there. Okay, we're just joking. You guys got to count rest, but like.
Respect to percussion players.
I can't believe the question. Do orchestra musicians get? Yeah, of course we get paid.
Professional
orchestras get paid. If it's like youth orchestra, it's different.
Youth orchestra, the musicians pay.
Yeah, they pay.
In the youth orchestra, we gotta pay.
Yeah.
But actually, to get serious a little bit, it is a bit of a problem because a lot of orchestras are struggling to get funded properly, and given the current pandemic, it's just not good.
It's a big struggle, yeah. But hey, more time to practice. Can you imagine after the pandemic, just imagine every orchestra musician just practices. An ideal world, everyone gets so good.
That would be amazing, but somehow I feel like
it's wishful thinking.
I've definitely been practicing
Super
more
good.
during this pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been practicing a lot more.
The next tour, we're gonna be sounding different.
Yeah.
Just hope this next tour is like next year, not 5 years down the line.
Dude, 5 years down the line, my back won't be able to hold a violin anymore. Alright, next one. Why are orchestras arranged the way they are?
Because
people want to see the violin, clearly.
Usually the attractive instruments are in the front. It's the first violin.
It's all thought out, guys.
Yeah. Viola and seconds back there.
The one field I want you to see.
Now you might think, why are violas before the flutes and oboes? Flutes and oboes are more attractive, right? Well, flutes and oboes have a stand.
Yeah.
So you actually can see them more than the violas.
Yes.
But then you can't really see the brass because they're just like all the way back there.
Yeah. And they're trying to get the attention with these shiny instruments. That's why they're back there. Because if they're in the front, no one's going to look at the back.
Yeah.
So that's why they're there.
And the percussion instruments just like...
you can't really see the percussion instruments.
But I mean, who looks at them anyway? Just kidding. Alright, honest answer though, if you think about it from musical terms, right? The same sections need to at least sit with each other. If you're in a section, you sound more unified and you can hear how you're blending with the people playing the same parts as you, right? Now, the strings are gonna have a lot more people, and that's why the flat ground is usually the string players. On top of that, brass and wind are a lot louder. That's why they're less, and they're also behind.
Yep.
I don't know, this is why also percussion is at the very end, because they're like massive, like... Now, as to why it's first, second, viola, cello, actually some conductors play around with different arrangements.
Yeah, they swap the violas and cellos around.
Yeah.
Or they put...
seconds on it.
Or
I
they
hate that though.
I was going to say if they really prefer violins, put it on the outside.
If you're here as a second violin, the back of your violin is facing the audience. So our sound is traveling backward.
And the second violins usually play a more middle register.
So it's already harder.
It's harder to project. We're dealing with higher registers a lot easier.
Yeah. Whereas if it's a viola on the outside, well, it doesn't matter because they're not projecting anyway.
Yeah.
But that's why there's actually science.
Science
behind
piano. Why do orchestra conductors use a baton?
Is it baton or baton? I've always said baton. Baton, baton.
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 Batoon. Okay, so why did I use a baton?
They don't always use a baton.
Well, I mean, one famous conductor used a toothpick.
Yes. Check out Gurdjieff. Super famous conductor. Very great. And he also has this very strange, I mean, it's not strange, like, it's unique, but I think it's amazing, where he does this thing, and you can't really tell where the beat is, but the orchestra just sounds so alive and together.
It's so meta. It's like conducting within conducting. He's doing this conducting motion, but within that motion, he's doing mini conducting. We didn't really answer.
Oh, right. Okay.
I just realized.
we
I
don't.
was like, what was the question again?
Okay, why do they use a... Easier to see? I mean, I don't know the official reason, but like, this versus this.
Yeah, you can see when
this point, right?
the point at the tip is gonna do the rhythm.
It also just feels kind of bad.
That's like a magic wand. You do this, sound comes out.
Yeah. Like,
Boom, bam.
again, like, a conductor doesn't need a baton. It's just there for convenience. And also so they can do this when the students aren't listening.
Yeah, on the music stand. No. Strings, why?
Viola!
Why is the concertmaster and violinist? Guys.
Google, learn some grammar, jeez. But,
I mean, they know the hierarchy in orchestra, right? The most superior instrument.
there's some things in life, there's just a natural order. You know, in the beginning of Lion King, where all the animals
All come together. Yeah.
And like Simba, whatever.
Yeah, Simba's there. Yes, just the violin.
This is the violin, right?
Whoa.
Everyone respects the violin. Seriously, I think it's probably to do with the nature of the violin, what we're able to do, means we typically have the more important, not important.
Well, we play a lot of melodies. I feel like a violinist can gesture a lot more.
Yeah.
While also playing.
And again, too, given the nature of the layout, the violins are usually going to be at the front, whereas the winds are going to be at the back.
Exactly, and everyone's looking that direction.
Yeah.
And cellos, I can see also lean, but I just feel like maybe the cello has less range of motion.
Yeah, they can only kind of do this.
Yeah,
whereas violin can actually lift the violin.
Yeah, because like the bow, sometimes you leave the bow as well, right? But the
Yeah.
cellist bow is too low for the people at the back to see.
That's true. Cellist, it's a bit
Cello's
hard to
like-
lift their cello up to show them.
Like,
Yeah.
boom! I think that's why.
I mean, it is the reason now.
Yeah, the official reason now.
2 sets official reason. Why is the concertmaster so important? Because usually they're the best violinist, and the violinist is the best, most important instrument, and therefore.
This whole episode is just about how great the violinist. Everyone's going like 2 sets is going to be how great the violinist.
I mean, I think they're kind of like the second in command after conductor, and if the conductor messes up, the concertmaster is the one that needs to dictate the orchestra. Remember when earlier we asked about conductors, why they're needed, and it's like during the Baroque era?
Oh yeah.
It was the concertmaster that conducted.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Yep.
Alright, now one bonus question that we found on Quora.
Why does the conductor walk in and out so many times in a symphony concert?
Beats us.
Yeah.
We don't know.
To be honest, that's a question I've always asked. Ever since I joined the orchestra or watched a concert, I'm like...
Yeah, when you're in the audience and your hands hurt and they go off and on like, I mean sometimes 3 times, sometimes like 20 times. And then if you're working as an orchestral musician, you're like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was a great concert, but I'm so tired.
Yeah, play the whole symphony.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's out again, I stand up again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just a tradition, I
I
guess.
think it's just tradition, etiquette.
Yeah. Recently, we went to a concert with the Singapore Symphony Orchestra, and due to the pandemic, there was a lot less capacity in the audience.
Yep.
So the clapping was a lot softer than usual.
Yep.
And every audience, you could tell they felt the need to like.
Well, one person
louder,
had to
right?
clap for like 6 people.
Yeah, and then during the last time the conductor walked on, you could tell people wanted to stop, so it got really soft.
Yeah.
But it was just so awkward if the conductor bows again and no one claps, so they're like, I was like, no, I gotta keep
going. But anyway, guys, we hope that answers some of your most Googled questions. To be fair, some of them we don't really know, but some of them are legitimate questions. So next time, if you get a chance when you go to a concert, you know what's what it's all about. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.